You get laid off at 9:12 a.m. By lunch, you understand the real number in your life was not your salary. It was $0. The Slack ping is still glowing blue on your monitor. Your cold coffee sits beside your keyboard. Outside the office window, the gray Ohio morning keeps moving like nothing happened. Yesterday, your salary was $48,000 per year. Today, it is a memory, with rent, groceries, insurance, and a car payment still attached to it. You thought the job was the floor under your life, but it was only one wire, one employer, one fragile line of money. And when that line gets cut, the system does not pause for you. The first level of passive income is not freedom. It is the first thing a layoff cannot touch. Level 0, the paycheck trap. At 25, you are a W-2 employee in Ohio, earning $48,000 per year before tax. Every morning starts before you are fully awake. You drive through gray light, past gas stations and strip malls, toward a cubicle washed in blue monitor glow. The office smells like cold coffee and old carpet. You answer emails, you sit through meetings, you wait for payroll like it is oxygen. Every bill hits directly: rent, utilities, insurance, food. Nothing arrives. Unless you trade another block of your life for it. You are not broke. That is the trick. You are stable. Until one person decides you are not. Level 1, the quiet number. At 31, you are a corporate supervisor in Dallas, and your life looks better from the outside. Better title, better apartment, better shoes for meetings where everyone pretends not to be tired. But the old fear is still there, sitting under your ribs every time payroll lands. So you keep the old car, you delay the vacation, you stop treating every raise like permission to spend. It takes years of small transfers, raises you do not spend, and a car you keep longer than you wanted. Then, one morning, your phone lights up with a dividend notification. Small, almost insulting. A few dollars from a brokerage account. A little interest from high-yield savings. By the end of the month, it becomes $100 per month. It does not pay the rent. It does not make you free. Nobody at work can see it, but that is why it matters. It is the first quiet number that arrives without your manager approving it. The first piece of mailbox money. The first proof that cash flow can exist outside the company badge. And once you see $100 arrive without clocking in, you start wondering what $1,000 would feel like. Level 2, rent never sleeps. At 38, you are a project manager in Phoenix, and the number finally has weight. The money comes from a spare room in your Phoenix house and index fund dividends. Together, they bring in $1,000 per month. It is not enough to quit, but it is enough to change the way Monday feels. Your paycheck is no longer the only door in the room. The rental key sits in a drawer near your laptop. The dividend graph moves quietly in the background. For the first time, you understand why people talk about assets like machines. When they work, they keep moving even when you are asleep. Then your phone buzzes at 11:40 p.m., a tenant voicemail. Something leaking, something broken, something that cannot wait until morning. You sit up in the dark, half awake, listening to a stranger's problem become your responsibility. That is when the fantasy cracks. Rent never sleeps. Cash flow comes with keys, pipes, personalities, and late night decisions. You wanted income that survived a layoff. Now you have it. But the system has changed the terms. You are not just earning from an asset anymore. You are answering to it. Level 3, the asset machine gets complicated. At 48, you are a senior manager in North Carolina, and the machine is no longer small. Rentals, dividends, and a niche website now throw off $5,000 per month. in mixed gross cash flow before taxes, repairs, insurance, and reserves. The number looks clean on a spreadsheet. It looks even better on a bank app, but in real life, it comes wrapped in passwords, forms, renewals, invoices, and calendar reminders you cannot ignore. The niche website sends 1,099 forms. The rentals create records. The brokerage account sends statements. Your rental income has property insurance behind it. Your dividends have market risk behind them. Your website has hosting bills, traffic drops, platform changes, and quiet updates made after dinner. The printer hums in a tax prep office while an IRS envelope sits on the desk like a warning dressed in paper. This is the level where passive income stops sounding like a dream and starts looking like infrastructure. More cash flow, more records, more repairs, more conversations you never wanted to have. A roof issue on Friday, an insurance renewal on Monday, a tax question that follows you into the weekend. You are not trapped like you were at 25. That part is true. But you are not weightless either. You have built an asset machine, and now the machine expects maintenance. Level 4, the gross number beats the paycheck. Then the month arrives when the math turns strange. Your old salary was $48,000 per year, roughly $4,000 per month before tax. For years, that number felt like the ceiling, the thing you had to protect, the thing that kept you polite in meetings, patient with bad managers, quiet when your body wanted rest. Now your assets are producing $5,000 per month in mixed gross cash flow. Not clean money, not effortless money, not all spendable money. But for the first time, the gross number outside your job is bigger than the gross number your job once gave you. You stare at it longer than you need to. The room is silent except for the low hum of the laptop. No one claps. No one from work notices. There is no ceremony. For the moment, a paycheck stops being the center of your life. But the feeling is not simple freedom. It is colder than that. Because the system still takes its cut. Taxes, repairs, insurance, reserves, risk. You have optionality now. That is the real shift. You do not need to quit. You just know the job no longer has its hand around your throat. Level 5. Freedom has an insurance renewal date. At 58, you are a semi-retired investor in Florida. 10 more years pass. Some assets compound, some break, some get sold. Some finally start paying the way the spreadsheet once promised. Now your assets produce $20,000 per month before tax. Not from one boss, not from one office, not from one fragile paycheck. The money comes through rentals, brokerage accounts, business income, and old decisions that kept working after everyone else stopped paying attention. Your mornings are quiet now. Too quiet sometimes. No commute, no Slack ping, no manager standing near your desk, pretending the emergency is shared. Just palm trees outside, a retirement community waking slowly, and accounts that move without asking whether you feel useful today. But this level has its own shadows. In Florida, even freedom has an insurance renewal date. Asset risk does not disappear because you have more money. It gets larger. Estate planning turns income into legacy questions. Taxes become something you plan around, not something you notice once a year. You no longer need a boss, but that also means no boss is coming to give your days a shape. This is guarded power, comfortable, but not careless. You built income that can survive a layoff. Now you have to live with the silence after survival. And then the story folds back. Not to Florida, not to the quiet retirement community, not to the $20,000 per month before tax. Back to Ohio, back to 25, back to the blue monitor glow, the gray commute, the cold coffee, and the paycheck that feels strong. Only because it has not broken yet. You are sitting in your car after work, engine off, phone in your hand. The parking lot is almost empty. Your body is tired in that specific way office work makes you tired. Not destroyed, just drained. Like the best hours of the day were rented out before you ever touched them. You open a brokerage account with $50. That is all. Not $50,000, not a secret strategy, not a dramatic escape. Just $50 after work while bills still exist and your boss still controls most of your week. $50 is not a plan, it is a crack in the old structure. The system does not notice your $50. Your company does not notice. The market does not care. Your coworkers would probably laugh if you told them this number mattered. But you notice. Because $50 is not freedom, it is evidence. The first small piece of money pointed away from dependence. The first quiet number inside a life still owned by payroll. The first brick in a structure that may take decades to become visible. The machine keeps moving. Rent, taxes, insurance, layoffs, markets, bosses, bills. It all keeps moving. But now, something else moves too. A tiny asset. A quiet account. A number that keeps working after you stop. And years later, when the paycheck is no longer the center of your life, you will understand that the first level was never about becoming rich. It was about building one line of income the layoff could not touch.